forecast. Well, typically we don't start out with that weekend forecast, but this is going to be the most active part of that forecast. So we're giving you the first alert that Sunday does look a bit more active than even Saturday, with those shower chances coming back in here. Severe threat does remain possible for us as we get into the late weekend, which we'll look at that in just a second. And we could even get some pockets of heavy rain. It does get a bit cooler. So let's talk about what's going on with that. A very active jet stream that's really diving way down across the deep south. That's developing a powerful storm that will be moving closer to us as we head towards the weekend. It's going to be providing a lot of active weather, severe weather down across the south as we get into Saturday. So Saturday, if we do see anything, it will be mainly later in the day with some scattered showers possible and maybe some very late in the evening thunderstorms as that begins to develop. But most of the activity and the heavier rain out across Kentucky, Tennessee, and then down into Mississippi and Alabama. Then Saturday night into Sunday, you can see that shifts off to the east. Now it does weaken, and this is the big question mark. How much does it weaken? Does a lot of the severe weather stay to the south of us? Does that front weaken enough that we just get some rain out of that? I think there's still a lot of questions when it comes to that, but we are talking about if this holds together, there could be the possibility of some stronger winds and heavy rain with that, which could lead to some spotty power outages. And then by late Sunday, that thing begins to push away. So here's a look at the next couple days. So Friday still to the west of us. Most of Saturday impact still pretty far away, but it's that Saturday night into Sunday time frame when it kind of nudges through the region. Typically, that's a good time that we will want the fronts to come through because it's a little bit cooler then. But this thing may have enough energy still left over. And let me show you why I think that is. There's the cold front here. It's going to be a lot more humid as this moves on in. So notice the energy kind of falls apart. Late Saturday into early Sunday, it begins to redevelop though. Now watch right in here. You can see some oranges starting to come back in. So that's some of that lift or the wind there that may be coming along with this. So we're thinking this is the time frame. Saturday night, very late. We're talking about overnight through about midday Sunday, which we'll be watching that front come through here. Could bring some hail, also some strong wind gusts. Either way with this, it's going to be a windy front with those winds 30, maybe even 40 miles per hour. So again, just want to give you the first alert that the late weekend forecast does look a little bit more interesting. As far as flood concerns, it looks like that's going to be far to the west of us, so not looking at any major concerns when it comes to flooding at this point. Now, the other big thing, the more immediate, is going to be the warmth. It's going to stick around for us again tomorrow, just not as warm as what we've got out there today, right around 73. A little cooler on Friday with more clouds and highs in the 60s. And again, we'll keep an eye on that weekend, very closely watching that one for you. We'll give you updates, but it does cool down a bit on Monday before we get back into the 60s and 70s by this time next week.
We've got more from